Welcome to Toffee TV. This week sees the 30th anniversary of Everton in the Community. Everton's fantastic charity that looks after so many people in the city. It also has the free school, it has the community hub. It does all kinds of brilliant things, has all kinds of brilliant schemes for people across Merseyside and the wider area. It's absolutely amazing. Well, it was the 30th anniversary gala at St George's Hall. All the first team squad were there. Sam Allardyce was there, all the coaching staff were there, as well as people from Everton and the community, people who volunteer for Everton community, and people who've benefited from Everton in the community. We were down there, we caught up with a few people from the club. First of all, myself with Phil Duffy, who is the Executive Director of Everton and the community.
How amazing is to see Everton in the community 30 years old?
It's an absolutely amazing story, isn't it? And let's pay tribute to those pioneers and those men and women who started this 30 years ago. I know they're here tonight, or some of them certainly are, and I just want to say a big thank you to them because they laid the foundation for what we have now, and that's a great tribute to them.
When you see the work they do around the city, it is really, really important in these times, certainly.
It certainly is, and probably more so in a way than we've ever had before. Social issues that we're facing are very challenging, very difficult, and we know that resources are very limited at authority level and government level. So we do our best to support our people, our local people, in this wonderful city of Liverpool.
How important is it having the free school there, and now the community hub, and also the new building for the disability fans open?
Well, those facilities are crucial. I mean, there's £6.2 million worth of investment there from various organisations that we've managed to pull together to create some really state-of-the-art facilities for local people. And of course, the next phase in the next 30 years is the legacy project in terms of when the football moves, and it happens to take place 3 or 4 miles down the road, we're still there. Goodison Park is still there, and we will still be serving our local community.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point. Obviously, with Goodison Park, obviously looking like it's going to go into the hands of Everton community, and those plans look absolutely fantastic.
Well, they do, don't they? I mean, it's breathtaking actually when you see the scope and the vision and the potential and the possibility. I know I was asked some months ago about what will happen to the stadium, and all I could say, because I wasn't privy to the information at that time, all I could say is I'm absolutely certain it won't be a supermarket with a big car park. You know, it will be something that serves its community and be there for the people in the region.
Just finally as well, obviously all the first team squad are here tonight. How important is it that you have the first team players here, you have that connection, because there are a lot of people out there who feel they've never felt further away from footballers with the prices going around and the wages. So how important is it that they get involved with all the schemes?
Well, it's critical. It's critical. And actually, I think we're very lucky at Everton in that I think that distance, we don't feel that distance. Players will regularly come along and they'll support what we're doing. And what the players may underestimate, I think, is the power they have in the almost a life-changing experience that a participant can have is when a player will sit with them and talk to them about what they're doing and what their aspirations are and what their life's about. When they go and leave, that person, they never forget it. That memory of speaking to one of the first-team players or one of the under-23s, they'll just never forget it, and it is life-changing for them.
Thank you very much.
Also there was Professor Denise Barrett-Baxendale, MBE, who is the Deputy CEO of Everton Football Club and as well the Executive Chair of Everton and Community. Baz caught up with her.
Well, Denise, what a night in prospect, and 30 years, I mean, a tremendous achievement.
Yeah, fantastic, and we show no signs of slowing down. We've obviously had fantastic 30 years in the community, but many more years to come. So there's never been greater demand on our services in the city, so we show, as I say, great desire to extend our programme and deliver even more programmes into the community in the future.
Yeah, because it's so wide-ranging and touches so many different lives in the area, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. We have 40 social programmes now that we deliver, 365 days a year, so whether that's health or education, mental well-being, whether it's a homeless community, a real range and variety of offers and services across Liverpool.
And the work goes on, obviously, for the next 30 years, I'm sure, but the landscape will change quite literally when the stadium move comes along, but the work carries on.
Yes, it does, and obviously people are saying we've been working in the community for the last 30 years. That is a formalised community programme, but our football club obviously has its history and heritage firmly rooted in the community, and we will continue to work very hard and deliver services into the city of Liverpool. But the new stadium gives us greater opportunity, not only to build resources and services down in our new community down on Bramley Moor Dock, but also to ensure that we leave a lasting legacy in Liverpool for.
Denise, 30 years is a long time for an organisation like this. What do you think have been the key tropes that have kept Everton in the community going for so long?
I think the key sort of factor has been the quality of the programme delivery. We have exceptional staff, fantastic participants, and really the range and depth of programmes that we offer, and that our scheme is very much designed and developed in line with local need. So it's not a programme that just offers random services. It's very focused, and there's a lot of research that's gone into it. So that's why I think we've had such great success.
I think one of the most striking things about Everton in the community is the human stories that come out of it and the individual stories. How special is it to have so many people who have been affected in a positive way by this charity in the same room here tonight for you?
I mean, that's the most important thing. I often get asked about the awards we've secured and the success that we've had, and all of those things are fantastic and they're great external verification of the quality of the work we do. But the impact we have on people is tremendous, and can never be undermined. For me, lots of people will say, the charity is life-changing, but for many it's life-saving. And so having the opportunity and the privilege each and every day to contribute to the community in that way is just amazing.
You've built us some links with some fantastic organisations. I mean, it was only last year where the Johan Cruyff Foundation was in the shadow of Goodison Park opening a pitch as well. So to create those links must be very special for you too. And
that's great, because the more successful we are, the easier it is to work with partners, and that partners want to join us. And we've had some magnificent partners that we've worked with, Merseycare, for instance, as you say, the Cruyff Foundation, Sport England, different sort of funders and grant organisations, and that's amazing, for their partnership, for them to come to Everton and say we wish to work with you, then that's a real accolade, I think, for the staff.
And you've had some great support from the players and the club as a whole as well. I've seen people like Phil Jagielka coming along to events, and they don't just turn up, they actually get involved, don't they? Absolutely.
There's no superficial relationship at Everton. The players are absolutely embedded in the work that we do. We have player ambassadors. They're always so delighted to go out into the community and get involved, and we're delighted to have them here this evening. It's very special for my staff and the participants to have them here this evening.
Denise, can I just ask, how important was it for Everton in the community to keep a legacy going in L4 with obviously the proposed move to Bramley Moor Dock? How important was it to you that it remained at the heart of L4?
That's crucial to me. I mean, as an Evertonian, as somebody who lives and works in the city and has brought my children up in this city, it's really important to me that we maintain our commitment to Liverpool 4. And I said at the general meeting, I've thought for many hours, how do you leave Goodison 4? How do we leave Liverpool 4? Sorry, how do we leave Goodison Park? And the answer is we don't. So there'll be no sense of abandonment there at all. And we've started to create what we're calling the Goodison Campus, where you'll have seen all of the new buildings springing up around Liverpool 4 at the moment. But the big prize is when we move to the stadium and we have that wonderful footprint on which we can work with, again, partners and investors to create a vibrant, happy and prosperous community.
To be awarded the freedom of the city as well, is that the cap on the magnificent progress that's been made down the years?
That was fantastic. My staff were just absolutely delighted, so thank you to the city for that. And as I say, it just pushes us on to do even more work and create greater opportunities for the people of our city.
Great.
And finally, we caught up with Graham Sharp to talk about the players' involvement with Everton in the community.
Well, Graham, fitting venue for a great occasion. I know you've been heavily involved with the community work over the years.
Yeah, it's incredible when you think, when we started in 1988, it was started with, I think, Duncan McKenzie and Alan Whittle, were heading the campaign, and to think 30 years on, it's been an incredible achievement. Obviously the programme is grown year in, year out, but I think, since Denise's came on board in 2010, it's just been unbelievable how it's taken off, not just locally, but nationally, internationally as well. So I think it's something that we can be extremely proud of as a football club.
And everyone, ex-players, current players who are involved and go along to events, really get into it, don't they? They know how important it is.
Yeah, they do. And the thing is, there's over, I think, 40 odd programmes that are involved at the moment, and they're diverse. You can go from dementia, you can go to servicemen, struggling to adapt to life once they come out the services. So it's very, very varied. And the players have been fantastic. I think the volunteers as well in Everton community will tell you that the players have really been hands-on. So that's what it needs to make it work as well. Everybody knows that football is a big, big part of the community, and it's important we give something back. So the players have, hats off to them. And you look at David Unsworth's campaign as well with the 23s, so they know what it's all about. But I think it's a fantastic achievement. As you said, from where it's come from to where it is now is incredible.
You mentioned there about how in the last 10 years it's grown since Denise Baxendale came in. What have been the main positive changes in the organisation you've seen from being around the club?
Well, I just think, when you look at what she's achieved in terms of the hub and certain projects that have come together, we look at the Home is Where the Heart Is campaign, we're dealing with the homeless people as well, the free school in another area as well, that's been up and running now as well. And if you look at the people who are involved in the projects in terms of the participants, they will tell you how much it's changed their life. When you see people who come in, volunteers, from really desperate times to where they are now, and apprentices in and around the football club, it's incredible young girls who have came through the programme who are now working for the football club. So that's what it's all about. And it's important to give something back, as I said to you before, and that's what we try to do.
And obviously with the club moved to Bramley Moor Dock in a few years, Denise has said in the past it's important that the club lay down roots in L4 and obviously spread out towards Bramley Moor Dock as well. How important is that? Do you think that the club are taking that into consideration as they move forward?
Well, it's massive because the football club has been a massive part of the community, of L4. So it's not just up in sticks and leaving it all behind and forgetting about it. As we said, we're very grateful for the support we've had from the local community as well. So it'd be wrong for us to just bail out and leave them. So I think Denise's plans, what she said to you in the AGM about what was intended for Goodison Park, I think that will come to fruition, and that's something we'll be proud of as well. But listen, we've always said it before, without the people of L4, we wouldn't have been a club as well. So we're in it together, and it's important we stay that way, and that's why we're here to celebrate tonight.
I mean, would obviously some of the stuff the players get involved in, is that something you would have fancied doing in your playing days, sleeping out at Goodison Park overnight?
You put me on the spot there. No, listen, it's incredible, and I think what Dave has done there with under 23 players is made them realise. I think in this day and age, football has got a bad reputation, with the money in the game and everything else. But I think Dave has kept the players really grounded, and the young players, and say, listen, hold on, it's not all about the glitz and the glamour and the riches, it's also about people down here. So he's made them well aware, so he's educated them as well. So in our days we helped as much as we possibly could, but not with something as advanced as this. This now has moved to another level, and it's important that young players stay grounded and they're involved. But when you look at the older players, look at Jags and Seamus and everybody who's asked to support them, they'll always be there. So that's credit to the players as well.
And you mentioned Seamus there. How good is it to see him back on a football pitch again?
Incredible, absolutely incredible. And his first appearance in particular, outstanding. When you think he's been out for so long, and it takes a lot, to overcome an injury like that. Mentally as well as physically. And he looked fantastic, and it's great to see him back. Just unfortunately we lose James McCarthy with the same injury, but he'll have looked at Seamus and said, well, okay, there's a way back there, and this is what I have to do to get there. Listen, it's a lot of hard work, we know that, but Seamus is hopefully come out of that now, and hopefully James will do the same as well.
And that was an important win at the weekend. It's a shame really that the next game is so far away, because you could have done with the next game straight away.
Yeah, it is, Ian, and listen, it's important to win games in the Premier League. When you look from the top six and then downwards, it's very, very much of a muchness at this moment in time, so it's important that you win your games. Crystal Palace was a massive game, as was Leicester, the last home game as well. So it's important that you win them. People maybe look in paper and say after that we've got an easy run of fixtures, but in the Premier League there ain't such a thing as an easy run of fixtures. So you've got to take one game at a time. Enjoy the result against Crystal Palace. Of course, it'd be great to be playing again on the Saturday, but it's not. So we have to now prepare for the following game, and that's what they'll be doing.
Can I just ask, Graham, should we be looking up now rather than down, given we're only two? I know we're obviously there's still the threat is there, but should we be looking up?
You'd like to think so. You'd like to think that we can catch Burnley. You know, whether we can get into the top 6, that looks really beyond us, but we want to finish as high as we possibly can. Some people are talking about if we finish 7th, it's Europa League. We don't want to do that. It means an early start. But I think I've said it all along, if we can qualify for European competition year in, year out, that puts the club in a better stature for the club and attractive players as well. So listen, we've got to aim for 7th. It's as simple as that. It's going to be difficult, but it's not beyond us. So that's what we've got to aim for. Okay, boys.
And there you have it. Big thanks to everyone at Everton Football Club and Everton community to inviting us down to the gala, and congratulations to them for 30 years of looking after people and being just fantastic for the city. Here's to 30 more.